Live on the Robo Show.
No.
So what did you do today, Neil?
What did I do today? Not much. I painted a few pepper grinders the inside, but I painted the outside yesterday with lacquer.
Yeah.
Today I was painting the inside with hard shellac.
Right.
And then tomorrow I'll probably glue them up. See how it goes.
How do you get it on there with hard shellac? Isn't it a bit hard?
The U-Butte product.
Yeah, just pour it in, swish it around, pour it out.
I'm not quite sure what's in it, but it's supposed to be more hard wearing than normal shellac.
Yeah. I don't know what's in it either.
Mineral oil?
Don't know.
No.
Also, took all my flowers out that were in silica gel.
Yeah.
And put the silica gel in the oven and recooked it. Because I was starting to go green. Which is the telltale that you need to recook it.
Yes.
The flowers I put in my freezer to dry out have all gone brown, so I've thrown them all out. What I'm going to try next time is to freeze them so they go hard and then put them in the silica gel. Because what's happening in the silica gel, they all just flatten out. The freezer obviously not drying them quick enough.
What kind of gel are you using? Where are you getting it from?
Just from eBay. It's a mix of very fine, like white sand, and orange beads.
Okay.
Little tiny beads, and the orange beads turn green.
How you going, Tommy?
Right, Tommy.
Sorry.
When they've absorbed the moisture.
What about, have you tried buying it from the supermarket?
Silica gel? I didn't know they sold it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how big the packet is. I don't think it's overly huge, but they do sell it, or Kmart or something like that, you know.
I'd imagine that even Bunnings would probably sell it.
Yeah, I would assume.
I've tried Bunnings. They don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me. You've got to ask them for a nail and they wouldn't know what you're talking about.
No, I reckon I'd try like Big W or something like that, or a Kmart, I reckon.
I got 5 kilos of it. I've got a fair bit, so...
Oh, yeah. It's just weird that it's squashing the flowers, that's all. I've never heard of that. I've heard of it holding the structure of the flower while it dries, but never heard of it crushing it.
Oh, that's probably me pouring it in a bit too quick.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. We'll blame you. Yeah.
And the flowers are really, really delicate, the ones I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, what are
they? They're
pansies.
No, they're like a rose, but they're not. Camellias, I think.
Oh, yeah. Camellias are generally a flower about the size of your closed hand, like that. Got a flower about that big on it.
Yep.
Pretty nice flowers, actually. And
the petals are really, really delicate. They open up like a rose sort of thing, and what you're trying to do is put the silica gel in slowly. I found the best way is to put a bed down, push them down so the back's supported, and then slowly fill them in.
Yeah.
I tried the other way around. I just flattened them, and the ones I just did were pretty successful. But all the centre little stick bits, they all get squashed down. So
you mean the stamens?
Yeah, those things. Yep.
Well, if it keeps crushing on you, maybe you'd be better off like taking each petal apart and drying it, each petal separately, and then put it back together.
Oh no, that's a pain in the ass. That's what happened with the roses I did. That was a real pain. But yeah, you glue one on and the next one falls off.
Yeah.
It was a pain, but no, it's just that particular flower. The little ones are fine. Just this big one that's trying to get it. Mind you, it was all to put in that resin pour and everything's failed, so I've given up on that one.
Are you not going to use that resin anymore?
Oh, it just gets too hot and turns the flowers all brown. And painting the flowers, well, it wasn't too bad painting the flowers, but I don't know, I was just trying to get them natural, that's all.
Yeah. You did say you coat the butterflies and stuff in UV resin first, huh?
No, you stick them in place with UV resin. You tend to spray them with some lacquer or hairspray or something like that first.
Yeah.
Hello, Stace.
How you going, Stace?
And Tommy's workshop can hear us now, so...
Hey. How you going, Tommy?
The biggest trouble is pre-spraying them, is that basically wets them.
Yeah.
And when they're wet, they turn limp again.
Ah, yes.
So you lose your shape. So you sort of I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
I'd rather hold them still and then slowly introduce the resin. But it's doing it without the resin going, because I normally, in my normal cast with flowers, I only pour it 5 mil thick and it doesn't get hot enough to worry about it.
Yeah.
Whereas that particular big one I was doing, I can't do it because you can see the layers. So that wouldn't work.
What about, and this is, I know nothing, so just treat it with thingo, but I do have an analytical brain and I think about things. Can you dip the flowers straight into the resin and let that harden before you actually put the flowers into the main thing?
I thought the same myself, and I tried that, but unfortunately, the bloody flowers all went limp, and all the petals hung down and stuck to each other.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, we'll scratch that idea then.
Yeah, no, it was a good idea. I tried it. But, no, it didn't work.
Or what about dipping them into shellac?
Well, whatever you dip it into moistens the petals.
Yeah, no, but shellac dries that quick that or even spray them with lacquer before you try casting them.
Yeah, well, I was spraying them with lacquer and that wasn't working either.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I tried
in that case, Neil, the only suggestion I have is put it all in the bin and go do something else.
Well, I've already gone through, there was the $300 pour to start with, and then I bought a 20-litre drum of polyester resin.
Yeah.
Because you can play around with the catalyst percentage so it doesn't get as hot. And I got
it. How you going, Steve?
Go, Steve.
It's still bloody cracked on me.
Yeah.
But polyester shrinks
Tommy
so
said, Neil, that they do it with dandelions.
I'm not dandelions quite sure. Are fine. They're tiny little flowers, small flowers.
Yeah, right out.
The petals are thicker and can stand up.
Right, okay.
I've done it with a lot of flowers, actually, but mainly small ones.
Yeah.
As soon as you go to the multi-petal scenario, you get into trouble. And the only success I've had is pouring it in layers. And so it slowly encapsulates it, but you've got to have the layers, if you like, horizontal to where you're looking so you can't see them.
Oh, yeah. And Steve Hawley says florists use silver nitrate, but they still lose a bit of colour.
Silver? No, okay.
Yeah, you can always inject get some flowers that are on a stem still, and you can inject some colour back into them if they lose colour.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what the silver nitrate does.
That's how they make black roses.
Yeah.
With silver nitrate.
No, not silver nitrate. They actually feed them India ink or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
I've seen them do it. They've had pink orchids here, and they've made them have blue and orange tips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that nitrate stuff, that mostly just dries them out, Neil.
Oh, it's a liquid, so.
Tommy said even when there is seed, Neil.
Right. I was a very naughty boy in high school with silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is a clear liquid that goes black in sunlight.
Mm.
And I had a syringe because if you get it on your fingers go black.
Mm.
So I used to have a syringe and I'd squirt silver nitrate at certain teachers I didn't like. And next minute their dresses had "fuck you, bitch" or something like that written on the back of their dress. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. We're live, aren't we? Sorry, guys.
Yeah. They'll get the cane out after you.
Oh, they tried. Yeah.
I'd imagine that you probably get silver nitrate from a chemist or something like that, I would think.
Yeah. I was mixing it with mercury to get more mercury nitrate, because what happens is the mercury goes into solution, the silver builds a silver tree. It gets displaced.
Yeah.
And mercury nitrate is a very good poison that I used to experiment on a few other critters. I was a weirdo in high school.
Steve's also said, I think it's in antiperspirant.
Oh, see, there you go. There used to be one teacher that used to keep us back for dictation all the time, and they had a beautiful white Mercedes. And let's just say it had some letters along the side as well.
We were never vandalistic with it. We used to do a lot of things with it, but never to really hurt anybody.
Whoa, man! I know that's not my eyesight. You went a bit blurry there, Robbo.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Whoa! What'd you put in my drink, Amber? Not enough, she says.
You're still breathing.
You need to ask Effie.
Yeah.
Effie's got the right recipe.
Yeah. Four husbands later.
And she's only 67. So damn.
I know. Now we got the one like that down here. Mary, she's had 2 husbands. They both had heart attacks. And she's a nurse, so we're a bit suspicious about that.
That Miss Pink you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I didn't realise she'd had 2. Bloody hell.
Yeah, both died of heart attacks.
Oh, wow.
She's got the recipe right.
Sorry, what was that, Neil?
So with a smile on their face or what?
I don't know. No, I know that one died in the kitchen, actually.
Oh.
No, you sort of, oh, what happened to your husband? Oh, they just died. They had heart attacks.
That sounds like her, yeah.
Yeah, well, I dare say in her day she's seen a lot of shit, that girl.
Yeah.
Cleaned himself up for the lathe show, and there's no lathe show now. Oh, you better invite them all to your house, Robbo.
Yeah, no, we're not allowed to have we're not allowed to have anybody here.
Well, if you stand 2 meters apart from each other, you'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's the way it goes.
How you going, Justin?
Oh, g'day, Justin.
Do you want to try your luck and come in here?
Our happy postman. It'll be a bit bloody nippy up at Mervu North getting up that early in the morning to go to work, I'd reckon.
Where's Merbu North?
Up between Moe and Leongatha,
Oh, okay.
or between Moe and Cohenborough, depending on which way you go.
I think of Merbu and I think of Quilla.
Yeah, no, different way of spelling it. Right on top of the range it is. Well, virtually. So like I say, it'll be a bit chilly up there in the early morning.
So is that up where the turnabout was going to be, sort of thing? Like,
No. Forest Edge is back this way about 100 kilometres from there.
Right.
But it's still in the
range.
in the ranges, yeah. And it gets a bit chilly up there sometimes too.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was going to go fishing for some trout in the river one morning, but
Is that an actual river or is that a pub?
No, it's a river.
There's a river that runs on the property where they hold the turnabout.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a couple 100 metres down the hill. And going down the hill will be all right. Coming back up, it'll almost kill me. Hell of a walk.
Yeah.
You see that in the chat, Robbo?
Yeah. -3.
Yeah.
Hang that.
Yeah, you can keep that up. Hey.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, right. Good. And you?
Oh, yeah, settling in slowly.
What's
What
good?
a time. Bloody lockdowns, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And day one at my new office, and it was the worst floods in bloody history or whatever for Traralgon, where I'm working.
Yeah.
You might have to move. You might have to move a bit closer, Justin. You've got a hell of an echo caused by the room.
Okay, let me have a look for you. I've even got echo cancellation turned off. Let's just.
No, it's because of the room around you and the distance you are from the microphone, I'd say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's not enough furniture in here yet.
No, give it time.
Yeah. All right. Don't get busy.
You need to move your lady into the lounge room by the sounds of it.
Oh, mate, I'd love to. You can see the mess in my shed. Oh, boy.
Oh, I thought Sharon had cleaned it up for you.
Oh, she's done a good job, but she had her way, half of it to get thrown out.
No.
What have we got it going on here?
So you mean half of it wouldn't have made it to your new house, yeah? Well, most of it didn't. We threw a ton out.
It's amazing how much garbage. It's amazing how much garbage you accumulate over the years. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it really is. You don't realise until you've got to pack it all up and put it in a box.
Yeah. I saw one of those 3-wheeler postie bikes for the first time the other day.
Yeah, the little electric jobbies.
They're pretty neat, I reckon.
They are. I quite enjoy them. They've got their charms, but no, they've been good. They're slowly rolling them out, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But they've got me on a push bike at the moment.
Oh, that's a bit rough.
Particularly up there with the uphills and downhills.
Yeah, the hills around Traralgon are like this. Bloody
Yeah,
get off
that's
and
right.
walk.
Have you bought a motor for it yet? Just a clip-on one?
It's got electric assist on it,
Yeah.
but it's like taking off in third gear. You know, you're not going anywhere fast.
Yeah.
So they're going real old school.
Yeah, yeah.
Pedal-
Geez,
pedal
back
power.
when I started, there was no powered bikes, though. They were all manual.
Yeah.
And working around the hospital in Richmond there. I think it's the Epworth. The hills around there were shocking as well, but yeah, no power assist back then. Bikes weigh a ton too, especially when they're loaded up. Oh, shut up. Especially when they're loaded up with mail.
Yeah. No, they look neat little things. I must admit, when I first saw it, I thought, these could make fantastic little tuk-tuks, you know.
That's what I used to call it, a tuk-tuk.
How do you go getting close enough to the mailbox?
They're no wider than a motorbike.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they're very good.
Once you include the panniers on the motorbikes, they're the same width. So you can get right up there. I mean, I scraped all the reflectors off the left-hand side of it, probably in the first week. just clipping fences and clipping bushes. And
You should have gone down the other side of the road first to even it up.
But the games are fun.
I reckon they'd look good with a custom canopy on them with tassels hanging down and all sorts of things hanging off the tassels.
Did you see on Facebook when I had it done up for Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the tinsel everywhere, and it was brilliant. Big red hat on the bonnet. And I always strap the stereo to my vehicles as well. So Christmas time, I just blast out Chipmunks Christmas carols full bore. I've got no shame whatsoever.
Do the dogs chase you much?
Dogs? No, they love me. I love me dogs.
And Steve Hawley says, "Good day, Justin. I'm the next postie as well. CT 110s only though." Good day, Michael.
Yeah, they're old school. They're like farm bikes now. The new motorbikes even very refined by comparison.
They go, Michael.
They're reliable.
There's a big ex-postie bike club actually. Like a mate of mine belongs to it. He's ridden to Darwin on the bloody things from Melbourne.
Yeah, they do all sorts of bashes and cross-country stuff. And
Oh yeah,
it's a really good community actually.
yeah. Michael, I've still got that chisel here for you. If you want it, that roughing out couch. I hope I've got the right person.
I'll take it home for you, Michael, all right?
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, yeah. Robbo,
Yeah.
the 3rd and the 5th of September.
Yep. All right.
Not
fine.
good dates. Not good dates for you to go away on a turning expedition. All right.
No, it's all right. I'll be here.
Bloody hope so. I seen those dates and I went and looked at the calendar and I was like, oh well. Sid and I are going to be there on the 3rd. So if you're going away on the 3rd, then I guess hello, Julie.
No. I should be here.
So you're coming back down again in September, are you?
Sorry?
Yeah, right at the start.
Jay's coming back over in September. Nice.
Yeah, Sid's bringing me over this time.
Cool.
Yeah, picking up a lathe.
Not that bloody yellow one, that's mine.
No.
The Minion.
No, the one that Jay was originally going to get was going to cost $1,000 to get it modified for him. So we decided against that one. I've got another one there for him instead.
Yeah, nice.
And sorry, go.
I was going to say, how are you enjoying the long bed lathe that you're using at the moment?
It's not bad actually.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the variable speed more than I thought I would. So, it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Much better than I've got the little one set down underneath the big one, and when I walk into the shed, I get to see how tiny it is.
What are your plans for it? Are you going to get it repaired one day, or are you going to do anything with it?
Yeah, I'll get another motor for it. I'll take that one out. It might only just be a bearing or something that's gone in it. So if I'm lucky, it is.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's $180 for a new motor, if anything. So it's not too bad. I paid $500 for the lathe originally. So
yeah, but that's $180 from Carvatec, isn't it?
No, that was on Amazon actually.
Oh yeah, right. Because I was going to say you can get them cheaper, probably get them cheaper elsewhere than Carvatec.
No, Carvatec wanted like $300 or something.
What was the motor that was in it that blew up?
I think it was a quarter horse. Okay. Quarter horse, I think.
It's one of the little ones, Neil.
Yeah, tiny.
Well, I'm just like I've got my old bloody Woodfast motor that I pulled out. The old original one.
Yeah.
Before I made it variable speed, would that suit it or not?
It's got to fit underneath the bed. This motor sits right underneath the bed. So
yeah, that's what the old Woodfast used to do.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that I think might be different is perhaps the pulleys. Where the pulleys, but that's only a machining job anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as if the shaft size is similar, you might even be able to just swap the pulleys over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Woodfast's got a 5-pulley system on it. But I think
that's what this one is.
I think I modified the pulleys I had though.
Yeah.
So the other motor I put on it.
Yeah, that's right. I think you would have had to.
Yeah, I think I bored it out. We could always cast it again and re-bore it. Yeah. Yeah, because I've still got the pulleys, but they're in here somewhere as well on the motor, and I thought I'd keep it for if someone needed a spare at one stage.
Yeah. Well,
they're handy to have around.
Yeah. I've also got half a dozen motors down in the garden shed that the old man was keeping as spares. I don't even know what they are, to be honest. All I know is when he died, I collected them and took them back here.
Naturally.
And they've been sitting in the shed ever since. They probably came out of old washing machines.
Yeah, probably.
That'd make them the inverter style, wouldn't they? You can actually control the speed of them with the current, rather than having to use pulleys and gears.
Not a good idea to use current control for speed control. So they've got no torque.
Okay.
But no, I had no idea what they were out of and what size they are. They're just some motors. There's some pulleys down there. And I just saw them and said, I might be able to make use of them, and brought them home.
Yeah.
I must admit, I used to keep all the old motors and everything. I've got about 6 or 7 out the back, but they're all too big for Jay's for that lathe.
What you do, grind out the bottom of it, suspend the motor underneath, and just run the pulley straight up and over.
Yeah.
Hey? Can you imagine Jay's little tiny lathe with like a 1 horsepower motor underneath it?
That's what I did to mine.
Yeah, that's what Neil did to his.
My little Woodfast 305.
Yeah.
I put a motor underneath, a 1 horse, variable, a 3-phase with a variable speed frequency drive on it. And I basically put the little lathe on a trolley because I only use it at Q-turns, or like turnabouts.
Yep.
And but it's got the grunt of probably got the biggest grunt of all the lathes there.
Crazy.
I kept burning out the little motors.
You're just too bloody rough.
Yep. I had this teacher that kept saying, "Take a bigger cut. Come on."
Well, it's all right taking a bigger cut if you've got sharp tools.
Not with a little 1/3 horsepower motor. They tend to go.
Yep.
I still remember the first time at Forest Edge when I brought that little Aldi lathe along and Robbo jumped on there and stuck a chisel into it and the thing just stopped.
Yeah, I can do that on most lathes though. The only one I wouldn't like to try it on is Reg.
No.
Reg would probably break the tool and send me over the top, even with my ballast.
Yes.
So what's the plan, guys?
Oh, no plan. We just tell lies and bullshit to each other.
Oh, my favourite pastime.
We were waiting for you to go in the shed and start turning, to be honest, but
If I was to get my chisels out right now, Sharon would have my hide.
She might use the skew chisel as a surgical instrument to remove one part of the anatomy, you reckon?
I was about to say, does she know how to ride the bevel?
No, if she get a catch or two, and that'd make it hurt worse, I reckon.
So I'm the only one that could really have a turn, because I've got no one else here, and it's warm enough to turn.
Oh, shut up! Yeah. Whatever.
I've got no cameras.
I must admit, I actually knocked off at 6 o'clock tonight. I've been busy working away. I had to turn the heater on at about 5 o'clock, but.
Why?
Hey?
Getting a bit chilly over there, is it?
Oh yeah. As soon as the sun dips behind the horizon, she gets a bit cool.
Yep.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, we got those 2-story 1-bedroom units just on the other side of the road to me. When the sun goes behind that, it's like, oh,
yeah.
Who turned the sun off?
No, there's no heat in the air at this time of year. But I like
What do you got as heating?
Here I've got 2 split systems in the house. I've got a wood heater in the shed.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Old truck drum brakes, one on top of the other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Good place to get rid of your shavings.
Exactly. That's the plan. I'm actually been watching YouTube videos on how to make briquettes from sawdust and shavings.
Yeah.
So might go down that road yet.
You wouldn't want to use my shavings, that's for sure.
No, they're nearly all resin.
Well, you could, I suppose, but as long as you're propelling the exhaust fumes away.
Yeah, black, horrible stuff it is, I can tell you.
The black mate.
No, I must admit, I used to have a wood heater in one of the sheds I had, and that burnt sawdust in it, and it was very, very good. Like sawdust generally is hard to burn, or shavings are hard to burn because they can pack down. But I actually got plans off the internet for one that actually burns sawdust. And the secret is to have a tube down the middle with holes through it so that it starts drawing air down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or you have a hairdryer connected to a hose underneath.
Oh no, the airline works better for that with a tap. I know.
Yeah.
You make a real furnace going then.
Oh, it was, yeah.
We've just had 2 meters of blue gum delivered for firewood. So I'm not really allowed to, but I'm going to anyway. I'm going to root through it and see if there's anything that's any good for turning.
So in other words, you bought half a metre of firewood and 1.5 metres of turning stuff.
That's the idea.
Well, if you look at the Australian timber selling group, there was a guy advertising some split red gum. I think red gum? Oh, anyway, split firewood it was, and it was all fiddleback.
Ooh, nice.
Each log was just split into 4. And I was thinking, oh, geez, there's some really nice bloody blanks there.
It annoys the crap out of me when they split it into 4, though. I prefer half rounds.
Yeah. Or better still, have the whole thing round. Just keep it round.
Yeah.
I just fill the cracks with resin.
Well, it's always a good option. I might start playing with that now. Once I get set up, I've got room now.
So if I've got a crack in some wood and every crack is an extra $50, how much are your cracks, Neil? Are they an extra $75 because there's resin in there, or what?
Yeah, basically. The only trouble is it makes it harder to turn and harder to finish.
Yeah.
It'll take the edge straight off your chisels, and when you're sanding, the resin will sand at a different rate to your timber. That can cause troubles as well.
Yeah, end up lumpy.
Yep. But when I was in Perth last time, Willie Nelson had the beautiful 450 to 500 diameter fiddleback Jarrah blanks, but they were firewood. They're all split and shapes and splits and all sorts of things through it.
Yeah.
And he hit one with the axe and said, "Oh, this will make a good firewood." And I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, what else are you going to do with it?" And I said, "Here, come here, I'll show you." And I glued a bit of plastic underneath, put some round the outside, and just filled it up with resin on the back of the ute, which provided the vibration to get down the cracks.
Yep.
And he turned the bowl out of it. It's the best bowl he's ever done.
Nice.
I said, well, there you go. It took just over a litre of resin, so $50 worth of resin, and he's normally selling his bowls for $250 to $350 to his local gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Got $650 for it.
Wow.
And so he said, "Oh, maybe I should look into this a bit further," because they're only thin cracks. They weren't huge things.
Yeah.
But it just gave beautiful highlights He did it in turquoise blue. Yeah, so $50 and another hour's work, or hour's work of casting anyway. Yeah. But mind you, he still hasn't done another one since I left.
Hey Neil, do you mind if I put up your cinnamon piece?
No, go for it, mate.
Yeah.
Didn't know you could.
Yeah. Watch this and learn.
Yeah.
That's a good lightning strike.
Gee, that's impressive.
I see the hinge came from Dinky Die.
No, that one's from Carol's actually.
Oh,
It's the 558 centimetres.
Justin, that's cinnamon sticks in resin.
Cast in a burnt orange resin.
That's clever.
Have you got the one with it open? Oh, there it is.
Nice. Yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah. Wow, that's creative, man. I love that.
And what's going to happen is it's going to become the bum of a spider that's turned.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the round bum of the spider, if you like. Well, that's
I want to know how you manage. I want to know how you manage to get the grips on the plastic bit down the bottom there. That looks most effective.
I couldn't get it rolling away. Mind you, I did stuff it up. You'll find it's not a perfect sphere. I was having trouble fitting it to the hinge, and so it's actually 1 mil shorter top to bottom than it is diameter.
Yeah, but that makes up for the hinge thickness anyway.
Well, I'd already done that.
Oh.
I'd already made a letter.
Totally unacceptable.
Just not good enough. You need to do it again.
The hinge takes up 4 mil, so what I did was I actually had a 4 mil piece of timber glued in between the two halves. So you make each half to fit you do the inside and fitting to the hinge first, and then you glue them with some temporary glue to a 4 mil bit of timber, and then you turn it to a sphere. Well, that's the way I did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's clever.
And then and that was just using packets of cinnamon sticks from the supermarket. And there was 10 packets in that one thing. So the bloody the workshop smells nice. I then proceeded to buy a kilo of cinnamon sticks off the internet, but it was a different cinnamon, where it's basically they're solid hollow tubes. They're not the nice spiral cut bit of bark. So I'm not quite sure how they make it.
Can you soften them in water or something like that slightly, and then cut it, and then let it and try and get it to curl?
No, it's a solid, like it's almost like they've grabbed the branch, and rather than shaving it, they've just drilled a hole down the middle.
Okay.
It's weird, but it's really hard. And what I've done is I've munched it up and soaked it in water, and I'll just use it on the garden.
I was going to say you could just make pens from it straight like that, eh?
Well, you could actually. I don't know how that would look. But I've actually ordered another kilo directly from Sri Lanka of the good stuff that has the spirals.
Yeah.
I've just got to wait 2 months for it to get it. We'll see.
He's ordered the good stuff in. Shh. He's ordered the good stuff in.
Oh, well.
Huh?
So what is it, about $40 a kilo from the look of it?
It's usually more. It's good more than that. That's what it cost me, 45 of the cheaper stuff. But when you buy the good spirally stuff, it's a different grade. It's near enough to $50 for half a kilo.
Wow.
So it's not cheap. And from the supermarket, you're buying 3 sticks for $3, which is 15 grams.
Yeah.
So to do the 10 packets, it was only 150 grams, but it cost me $30. But they're the good little spirals.
Do you get? Have you got like Middle Eastern grocery stores around you?
Yeah, probably is somewhere. I could have tried that, but
Yeah, you must get it in bulk from them.
Probably.
Yeah, but you might get it in bulk from them.
Come to Cranbourne, Neil. There's five Indian grocers in Cranbourne, believe it or not.
I was going to say there's heaps here too.
Whether they sell
sorry, you were still in here, Tommy? I didn't see your question until I just looked up there.
Yeah, I'm going to make a bowl from the stuff as my next exercise, but after I've done spider and a
what
few
colour
other
resin?
Good question.
The amber works well from the look of it.
Yeah, it does look pretty good. But there was a guy I got the idea from. He did a flask that he had it so the sticks were vertical, so you got to look at them side on.
All right, just hold on for a second. Tommy, yes, we are back in lockdown from midnight tonight for 5 days. Justin lives down the road from me, about 40k down the road, and he's in lockdown as well. The whole of Victoria virtually is in lockdown for 5 days. And to say I'm a little bit annoyed would be a vast understatement, because we were supposed to be away this weekend, the turning weekend, the first one for the bloody year.
Yeah.
That I could go to, or second one for the year I could go to, and leaving tomorrow for that. Unfortunately, that ain't going to happen.
Should have shut the borders down ages ago.
Yeah, well.
As soon as Sydney started getting out of control, they should have just shut it all down.
Yeah, and not had bloody the MCG open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well.
Yeah, it's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
I love being an essential worker, though. It's great.
Oh yeah, it doesn't affect you.
I'd really rather would be working from home.
Yeah,
well, you can,
like,
can't you?
I still like that joke where I'm working at home. And there's only one that tops that one, and that's where everybody's seated in the plane and the announcement comes over. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. I'm working from home at the moment.
Yeah, I haven't had any phone calls from Justin yet, so I'm in the clear so far.
That's it. No bills for you today, mate.
No bills for you, mate.
Yeah, Tommy says he's still here, so that's cool.
Yeah, I know. I just saw it there before.
Yeah.
No, he asked the question up further, and I've just completely forgot all about it.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd better answer it. I don't like being rude to people. All right, Neil. Sorry about that. Keep going.
No worries, mate. Yeah. That guy was. He put it with a translucent black resin. The smoky resin, and that looked pretty good as well. I must admit, when I cast mine, they were all vertical in a cylinder, and when you cut it just around, it actually looked like petrified timber with the orange. It looked really good. But of course, as soon as you go to the sphere, you then start getting the end grain.
Yeah, And when you start slicing, you start getting long grain down it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which all look good, but even just cutting the side, it did look pretty good. I found with the smoky black, it actually made the cinnamon stick stand out a bit more.
Yeah. Do you prefer the swirly look from the end on view?
Yeah.
Or do you like the, yeah? So what if you were to cast it in almost a star? You know what I mean?
Well,
So that you
I was going to cut them in short lengths.
Yeah.
And then stick them to a bowl.
Yes.
And then put another bowl around them and cast them. I've done that.
Would one of those polystyrene balls work? Polystyrene balls with maybe
no, polystyrene balls melt under resin.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I know this. But I've got, you know how you buy those bowl sets from Kmart or Coles?
Yeah.
You buy a set of 5 or 6 bowls for $10.
Yeah, they make good casts.
Yeah, yeah. What you do is you put some sticks and attach the bowls to the sticks at the top, just in a cross pattern, and that holds the inner bowl up. You then pick the inner bowl to suit the thickness you want to start with, and then go from there.
Yeah, I actually found one time I did that and I couldn't get it out of the bowl again, so I just put the whole bloody thing on the lathe and turned the bowl off.
Yep. Yeah, that's easily done.
Yeah, plastic turns good.
Yeah, real fast, real easy.
But yeah. Oh, that was the plan. That's why I bought the kilo of cinnamon sticks. But makes it an expensive bowl, that's all.
And Tommy says that most of their restrictions are lifted next Monday, and probably we'll be back in lockdown in a fortnight.
Where's Tommy live?
England.
Oh, right.
They've been having a rough time of it over there.
Oh yeah.
So, what metals can I turn on a lathe, like brass, copper, that kind of thing?
Yep. Brass, aluminium, any non-ferrous metal.
Yep.
All right.
And if you have the right, and if you have the right tools, you can actually turn steel as well.
Yep.
That's how it was used to be done, actually.
Yep.
Michael has a party. He'll be working essential workers, medical equipment. Yeah. Need that. Bloody Bacchus Marsh Hospital is chock-a-block now. They had no COVID there at all, and now all of a sudden the hospital's just full.
Oh.
Yeah. Really. Around.
I do not know why they did not move the ones that were in 14-day lockdowns. Instead of putting them in hotels, like you've got Bandiana Army Camp, you've got Puckapunyal Army Camp, you've got Sale Air Force Base, 1,001 bases around Victoria that are 3/4 empty because the soldiers don't live on the bases anymore in most cases, and whack them all into there and put them under the care of the military and say you step outside the door, you're likely to meet with a little lead pellet, you know? Yeah.
Good target practice.
And if you run, that's a moving target. But like the sign on my mate's bloody bull paddock. Our bull can get across this paddock in 15 seconds. Can you? Oh, they used to pinch the mushrooms out of the place.
So I was thinking, Jay, what have you ever experimented with melting metal down to make?
No, nothing other than sinkers to make bigger sinkers.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking in terms of if you're going to look at turning metal, whether or not you could like get some aluminium and melt some brass into it or some copper into it, to get the different the different metals to have the contrast through as a blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, copper and brass take a fair bit of melting actually. I've actually melted and cast aluminium for some certain things. I had to cast up a pulley system that I had to turn for a machine I made once, and that's relatively easy, but copper and brass would sort of require almost a furnace to do it.
Yes. Solder's an easy one to do.
Solder's basically lead and tin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a nice shiny finish. There's also castable by heating it up.
Pewter's another one. Pewter's another one that I've done.
What about Coke can?
Yeah, there's not much aluminium in them, surprisingly enough, when you melt them down. There's only about a drop in the bottle.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I have an abundance of aluminium around here because we use a lot of aluminium in the motorhomes and stuff. So
I was looking at buying a block of it, just a big chunk of it, and putting it on the lathe so like of brass or something like that to see what I could do. And all I could find was rods, and I was just like, no, not what I want.
Oh no, you can buy it up to 12 inches with thick here if you need to, but
it ain't cheap though.
You have to mortgage the house and sell your firstborn.
I actually had a talk with a guy at Mr. Minute a couple of months back, and he reckons he throws out bags and bags of key filings.
Yep.
So whether getting stuff like that and maybe casting that in resin, just because it'd sink, wouldn't it? The filings would sink in the resin.
Yep.
Yep. So if you were to get, say, a 1 litre pot, and say you had 4.5 litres of key filings into a 1/2 litre of resin, it should distribute itself pretty well, providing you sprinkle it in or you combine them properly.
No, it'll still sink at the bottom.
Yeah.
I've tried it.
That wouldn't matter. Yeah, that was a solid block.
Yeah, just turn the bit on. It's got no the key filings in it.
Yeah, the biggest trouble with brass is the only bit that turns to the nice bright colour is the stuff you actually cut. The stuff that's actually cast in stays
dull.
Yeah, it stays the dull colour it is.
Okay.
Because I do brass, aluminium, bronze, and all those variants with just thin CA. You can put a bit of thin CA, then a bit of dust, then more CA, then more dust, etc. in either of the metals, and it'll look like solid metal by the time you finish.
Well, that's where I was thinking. That's where I was headed with the whole making up a paste in the resin kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not to have it look like sparkles in the resin, but have the resin disappear completely and just have it look like a solid block of metal.
Yeah, well, the thin CA is the way to do that, not the resin, because the resin sticks to the outside and you'll always get this coating.
Okay.
Whereas the thin CA, and you got to get the good thin CA, not the cheap $2 crap. Real hot stuff or a good decent brand.
Yeah.
Justin,
Starbond. Is Starbond any good?
Sorry, Starbond. Yep, Starbond's fine.
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah, mate.
Are we on speaker?
Yeah, but I'm alone in the house. No, you've been ignored.
Yeah, I seen him walk past just before. I thought, I was going to say, Neil, do you know a wolf whistle?
No, these dogs are out. Take an earthquake.
I was wondering what the hell you're talking about, Dave.
I seen the dog walk past about 2 or 3 minutes ago, and I meant to say something, but I didn't really want to butt in. Too much.
It's funny you talk about medals and that. Is I've got a client who dropped off a pepper grinder I made. Must be at least 5, 6, maybe even 7 years ago, and it was olive. It was all cracked up, and no, it'd be 5 years ago. And I filled all the cracks with brass filing. You can buy jars of brass from Pop Shed or anything. Yep. And they bought it to me, said, we want a matching one, but rather than filling the cracks with brass, can you make it with just blue, which is what I've done.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's the one I've just finished. And I was adding the hard shellac to the centre of today.
Yeah. You showed that a couple of weeks ago, eh?
Yeah, that's the one. So, you know, she's happy with it. And she got me to... I usually have 3 black rings around the joint, one in the joint and one either side of it. And she asked me to put another ring, so there's 5 rings now, so she could tell the difference. And I'm sitting there going, well, one's got bright blue cracks, the other one's got brass cracks. Can you not see the difference? Like the blue is so bright, it's ridiculous. It's
yes.
But anyway, so I did it for her.
Yeah.
And,
how do you go getting
fatter.
Sorry.
That's like the 2 Irish brothers that bought 2 horses and said, "Oh, Paddy, I don't know how the hell we're going to tell them apart." Oh well, maybe Sean. How about you have the one with the black tail and I'll have the one with the white tail?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Justin?
No, I was just going to say, when you put in rings on things, I think, was it Robbo said once you put more than 2 rings, spacing becomes a real issue. You'll notice if there's any error.
Yep.
So how do you go about getting 5 rings with equal spacing like that?
I use the calipers to mark where the ring goes.
Okay. Yep.
Ring go.
And then I use the skew from one side to cut it so that they're exactly the same width as well. And then I use the burner. So they're always exactly the same.
Okay. So you like dividers, you actually press it into the wood while it's spinning.
Yep.
And then flip it over so that it's still in the existing groove and cutting a new groove.
Yep.
And then flip it back again. Okay, yep, I can see that. That works well.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Because no matter how good your eyesight is and how sharp your pencil is, you'll always be half a pencil out and you'll see it.
Yeah, that's it.
Speaking of dogs, mine just come in.
Meow.
Who am I talking to?
Your mullet wants to go out. I'm loving the bird life around here, though. We get king parrots and all sorts of, even the kookaburras, magpies. We're getting galahs. It's just beautiful. Rosellas. Such a variety, and they're so colourful. They all come in to pick at the grass, and you just sit here and just stare at them out the window all day. It's just so relaxing.
I used to have beautiful birds all coming in during the morning and back again in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And crows that decided to move in, and that was the end of all the birds.
That's a bugger.
Yeah, they formed a nest up on the top of one of the trees, and yeah, all the other birds just never came back.
Do you know what crows like to do?
I assume kill the little ones.
Their favourite thing is to go to the nest when their hatchling is only 1 or 2 days old and eat it.
Yeah.
That's their favourite thing to do. We used to have noisy minor birds in their tree here, and the crows kept coming back and pecking out the babies, and they didn't nest in that tree after a while.
It's
So I
good
never
about
had
controlling
birds
your minor
nesting, they were just
population.
calling in. But,
What was that?
my birds weren't nesting, they were just calling in on the way through.
Yeah.
So I put out seed and meat and all sorts of things for the birds.
Yeah.
But they all were polite.
Do the parrots at your way get noisy, Justin?
No, not really. It's just the birds, Tom.
Jesus, they do here.
They get rowdy here too. They get drunk off the date palms and stuff like that, and and we've got a lily pilly tree out the front, and they go nuts off of that. You can hear them squabbling. They're literally having a fight with each other. Give me that! I want it's quite amusing sometimes.
I'll tell you what, they're good brawlers too, just quietly.
Yeah,
They
and
never kill each other.
Oh, yeah, and also too, if they get a chance, they'll leave some of the date palms until they go fermented, and then they get drunk, and then they're even louder and even more argumentative.
We planted a mulberry tree out the back already because the block there's nothing on it it's just grass. The builder left a couple of yuccas, and of course they came straight out. They've been poisoned. So I'm waiting for them to die. But we dropped a mulberry tree in the backyard the other day, and we've got some, I want to say, Daphne, a couple of Daphnes out there, some acacias, just lovely birds and bees attracting stuff.
Yep.
Watch out for those mulberries. That attracts little fat wood turners.
Sounds good. Only got to wait, 80 years, maybe 100 before it's ready to chop down and start turning?
Oh, no, I pinch the berries first. I've got the mulberry trees mapped out in my neighbourhood.
Nice.
And where I walk the dog just depends on which one's ripening.
Oh, next time you're down this way, I'll bring you a basket of our local ones. See how they
I
compare.
love mulberry. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Make good
I
jams.
hear they're really sweet.
They squash well against white t-shirts too. We had a big mulberry fight when I was a kid. God, I got into strife over that, I tell you.
Doesn't come out either.
No.
No, it stains. Yeah.
It's a beautiful stain. You can tell when I've been out walking the dog by the mulberry trees.
Yeah, red mouth.
Mouth, fingers.
Oh, purple mouth.
Sorry, it's getting late. That's early birds.
What time do you have to get up in the morning, Justin?
5.
Yeah, I thought it was fairly early.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
No good to Neil.
Usually about 9:30 or so I'm hitting the sack.
I woke up at 9:52 this morning.
The day's half gone, mate.
Yep. Yeah. And my dog was still sound asleep under the blankets too.
Unreal. I couldn't do it. Even on my days off, I'm up by 8, and I feel like I'm wasting the day.
I did it all my life, and as soon as I stopped working, I said, "Stuff that."
Yeah.
Start sleeping and enjoying life.
I suppose
the only reason I
too.
get up is if we're going fishing or something like that.
Fair enough. With the YouTube taken off the way it is now too, your hours would be more compatible with the Americans and the English. I imagine being able to stay up until like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, their lunchtime live's on at 10 o'clock, which is good.
Well, that's when it starts anyway. Yep.
10 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't see the evening ones because they're on a bloody 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
See, that's more like it for me. I just have to pick days when Sharon's already at work.
Does she work down in Traralgon as well?
She got working there in Gaffer.
Oh, yeah. So both sides of the mountain covered.
That's it. Yeah, we go different directions.
Got Rex. He's only typing in the private chat at the moment. He can't get any mic or camera to work, but he's in the bottom, down the bottom in the back screen there. So if you just want to go to the private chat and say hello and all the rest of it.
Oh yeah, g'day Rex. Cameron
Hello
worked
to all.
yesterday at a local wood turning meeting, he says. G'day mate.
I can't see the chat, so
No,
Yeah.
G'day, Rex. How are you?
It's a private chat, Neil.
Well, you should be able to see it, but on a phone it's probably hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's on the StreamYard chat, not the YouTube chat.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I've got the YouTube chat window open in the other side.
Yep.
Tommy says it's the same as Jay's live, which is on at 2:30. Yeah, England time. Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, if you switch over to YouTube, Rex, you'll see it in there.
I'm going to go and make myself a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Honey with no milk, thanks.
No, I got me nice half-strength latte, thanks. That'll do, mate.
Neil's got a coffee machine. He won't travel anywhere without it.
Oh, gosh.
It's even in my camper.
That's what I say, yeah.
Nice.
I've even got one that runs off battery power, but if the battery's flat, I've still got one that runs off gas as well. I'm not good if I don't get my coffee in the morning.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, no, don't talk to me before coffee.
But it's got to be a good coffee.
Good morning, Rex. Well, it is the morning for you, I know.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
right.
what
How you going, Rex? You have a good sleep?
Yeah, all right, Neil's off. See you, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you later,
yeah.
Neil.
I thought he was just making a coffee.
Oh, it's a work of art with Neil. He's got a bloody prime this, tank that, tamp this, grind the beans, blah, 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 blah.
I'd be halfway through my second cup of instant blend 43 by the time he's had his first one.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
When I drank coffee, I couldn't stand brewed coffee. I still like the old Nescafe.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends
Yes,
on
he
what
is,
mood.
Rex.
Depends on what mood I'm in. If I need to sit down and have a flavour that I'm expecting, there's nothing worse than when the old man makes up a special coffee. You've got to try this. You want a coffee? Yeah, no worries. And he pours you a coffee, and you take a sip and you think, oh crap, that wasn't what I was looking for at all. Whereas if you know you're having something different, you can enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like having a glass of orange juice and a cup of tea beside each other, and you think, oh, the cup of tea would be nice, and you accidentally pick up the orange juice, and you go, whoa, geez, that was wrong.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah. Now, the only variation I used to have when I drank coffee was if I was out somewhere, and it was the only other one you could get was a cappuccino.
Yeah.
So Now they've got that many bloody different coffees that it's like motor cars.
Yeah, Rex, I'm a wood turner too. I've been at it for, I'd say it's 4 or 5 years now, I think. Because the last time we went to Forest Edge, that was, that's been 3 years now, isn't it? Because we missed the last one,
Yeah.
the last group. Yeah. And that was about, I think, my 2nd year in.
Yeah, Rex is in Florida, and he's actually in Melbourne, Florida, America.
Nice.
Our sister city.
Yes. Oh boy.
So have you been doing that too, Justin?
What's that, mate?
Oh, Robbo, he pulls his eyebrows out and his beard down. That's how his hair doesn't grow like that. Is that the same for you?
Yeah,
No,
I get the John Howards going every now and again. I've got to trim them off.
yeah, I have the same problem. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I start looking like Bob Menzies. I was training them to go up over the top, actually, but it looked a bit funny with a hairy forehead.
Yeah, that's not how a comb over works. Sorry.
Yep. Pull them sideways around the back.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
tie them flat.
Put them in the middle and twist them together, you know?
My wife's favourite lady friend is in Melbourne, Australia, Jenny King, famous crochet.
Yeah, I haven't come across her, I must admit. I know quite a few quilters.
Might ask my missus about it. She's into quilting and stuff.
Yeah. Rex B says his wife teases him about his eyebrows too. Yeah, my wife just subtly hints it's about time one of us needs a haircut. And I don't know if I told you, but the deal was before Julie and I got married was that she kept her long hair and I kept my beard because
That's fair.
she said I had a funny face without a beard.
Mm-hmm.
You look like a child when you shave. That's the problem.
Sorry.
Take mine off every now and again, and I feel like a child.
Yeah, well, no, she says I've got a funny looking face.
Yeah, when he went from this down to what he is now, I was like, who's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been lucky in that respect, Rex. I'm not a hirsute person actually, so I had a bloke working for me.
In trouble now.
More about early American history in Spain.
Hey,
Ah, good day, Sid.
how's it
Using
going?
those big words, Robbo.
I had a bloke working for me, Mike.
Sorry, did
I'm
I
not
interrupt?
joking. Hello, who's got stuff on in the background?
You are
That's
funny
it.
when I do.
We'll blame
You know, it's
Sid.
funny because Dan usually hates
There you go.
A fortnight
better?
after a fortnight after he'd had a haircut, the hair was growing out of his collar and it had come up to his ears. Hello, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
Bye.
Did Sid cook your tea tonight or not?
No,
You miserable bum.
no. We went to Mount Gambier today.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Sid, you got to be muted.
Yeah, I will, because Shirley's watching your show. And
Yeah.
We'll just lip
Oh, you want to get Shirley a headset like I use because I can't hear anything, so I've got to have the volume up full bore.
Can't she have the headset that Sid's wearing?
No, it's got to be tuned to the TV.
I didn't say that, Sid, all right.
I'll put you on loudspeaker so she can hear you.
I'm going by.
Oh, well, Sid, we're back in lockdown again.
Yeah, I heard.
Which is
So the top left and bottom right are free men, and the bottom left and top right are locked down.
Oh yeah, I'll fix that.
Is the mail still is the mail still an essential service?
Yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
What's your address too, mate? I want to come and knock on your door.
Yeah, by all means, mate. No worries.
And then I'll message it as I drive off.
Now,
We're going to go there or not.
just behave yourselves. I'm warning you. Rex, no, Mount Gambier is one of the closest towns to Sid. Probably Narracourt is a little bit closer. I'm not sure. And no, we're all in lock. Well, the top two, Justin and myself, are in lockdown. The South Australians on the bottom there, they're not at the moment.
Nobody wants to go there anyway, so there's no point.
Well,
Hey, look what happened last time. Dan said that.
yeah. So, yeah, Australia's in a bit of turmoil at the moment. We've had a few outbreaks. But anyway, still not as bad as America or anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, without being facetious or silly, the eastern seaboard of Australia at the moment's in a fair bit of trouble with the Delta variant.
Yeah. There you go, Rex. Go check that out. That's Wikipedia for Mount Gambier.
Its claim to fame is a blue lake.
Yeah, old volcano.
Yeah, which is only blue for a few months of the year. The rest of the time it's brown.
Is that an algae bloom that happens seasonally, or
Sorry?
What causes it? What causes it? Is it an algae bloom or what?
No, it's always been that way. And for a long time, they reckon it was just about bottomless, but they've since worked out how deep it actually is.
Looking it up on maps now. Cool. I'll tell you what's creepy is when you get on the Google Maps and you put it on the satellite view and you zoom right out and you start to see all the canyons and the crevices under the water and how all the land masses themselves are just like the tops of really big ass mountains. And
Yeah, I must admit I like Google Satellite on their map thingo, because there's a lot of farms up along our road here, as you well know, and it's quite interesting seeing what's in their backyard sometimes.
There you go, Rex. I just posted a link up. That's Larry the lobster, the big lobster, which is about 10 kilometres from where I'm sitting.
I'm kidding.
And Rex says you guys are near a company I invested in, Clean Seas Tuna. That must be down on the coast somewhere. I thought that was in Western Australia.
don't know. I have to look it up.
I'll have to look it up now.
I'm like that. I hate that. You sit there watching a movie or something and you think, I know that actor. Where are they from? Damn it. Now I've got to, oh shit. And you've got to pull out the bloody iPad and look everything up and find out where they're from. And it drives you nuts till you scroll through their career to, oh, yep, okay, that's where I know them. Yeah, okay, I'm good now. I can finish watching the movie. Exhausting. It's a funny thing, Rex.
First Australian fish farming in South Australia. So
Oh, there you go.
it's on the Spencer Gulf. It's down on the Spencer Gulf, so a fair way away from you.
Yeah, they must be operating out of Port Lincoln or somewhere out of there.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube that I've been watching a lot lately. Got nothing to do with tuning. It's actually a American RV company and university students mapping the sea floor. It's actually quite interesting, to be honest. Sometimes I sit there watching hours and hours of it because they're actually where they're going. No one's seen before, so you quite literally sit in your armchair exploring. It's quite interesting. Get some very dark, dingy spots where there's nothing, and then all of a sudden this really red, bright coral just zing out of nowhere. You know, it's quite good. Quite interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And Rex says he never gets to see anything in Maps Google in the backyards. No, you've got to go to Google Maps and then go into satellite view, and you can zoom in on places. Actually, the councils and everything use that to check on whether there's been any unregistered buildings going on, and the police use it for tracking marijuana farms, funnily enough.
Uh-huh.
And Rex Reed reckons the only time we had fun was in the C-130, flying over the nudist areas at 300 feet.
Half your luck.
You've got to be in a C-130. They fly that slowly. We had a bird fly in the back of one.
Bird striking the ring.
That just sounded really bad, Justin. Bird strike in the rear.
Yes.
That sounds like the foo-foo bird. You've heard of the foo-foo bird?
Yes.
Yeah.
The foo-foo bird runs around in ever-diminishing circles until it disappears up its own bum.
Yeah. And as it does, it goes, foo-foo!
What link did you want? What link did you want, Rex? Did you want the Mount Gambier one again? What are you turning the camera at?
Oh, I'm just moving to a more comfortable position.
Oh, is that better?
Nothing exciting going on, trust me.
Oh,
No, there will be no nudity on this channel.
oh, that's not fair.
You want to bet?
Notes to the nudists to take your top off. Are they not already nude? Is that not the...
No, Jay, the Sea Explorers, he wants it. The one you were talking about.
Yeah, I'll put the link up for that.
Oh, right. That's that Schmidt Ocean.
Yeah.
Jay, Rex.
Be right back.
I must admit, I turned my camera off before because I was eating some leftover Chinese food, and me eating is not a pretty sight.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'd have to agree.
I found an investor who
I'll tell you what, these ferals in Victoria, they better get all their heads out of their bums. I tell you.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Jay.
I can get all the working capital I need.
Mute yourself, Sid. That's better. I hope these, dare I say it, ferals in Melbourne pull their heads out of their bums and stay clean and disease-free. So Sid and I can come over and then, bloody hell, man, I'm getting nervous. Might have to float over to Tasmania and then come back across. Like Neil has to go to a Victorian event at the moment. He'd have to go down through Northern Territory, South Australia, and into Victoria. What a trip.
Yeah, lower, Rex. No, I've had my first one, Rex. don't get the next one for another 8-9 weeks yet.
Yeah, I've had my first shot. We're waiting for the. I assume we just get a text or something, don't we, saying that we're due?
Sorry?
We get a text or something saying when we're due for the next shot.
I'd have no idea. Probably.
Okay. I just assume so. Yep.
Oh, so I got nothing valid to say about this conversation, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, for a minute there, I thought we were shitting on each other's hometowns, and I was going to say it's hard to follow the conversation over the sound of the boring from South Australia. But, you know. Read between the lines. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So which jab did you get, Robbo? You got the AZ or the...
I couldn't tell you, to be quite honest. I just did as I was told.
Bah! Bah!
Roll up your sleeve. Which arm do you want it in? I said, the left one, thank you. She said, right, no worries.
Okay.
I got the AZ.
No, I must admit, she did go into the thing, explaining it and everything. But to me, it was just another needle, you know.
Tune out. Yeah. I dig it. They reckon with the Pfizer, the first jab is not too bad. It's the second one has the worst effects, whereas the AZ is the other way around.
I got a funny feeling I think it was the Pfizer one. But
Yeah.
we had no trouble getting it. Like, well, at my age, it was almost compulsory, you know.
Mm. We did the same. We were in and out in 20 minutes, and that includes the 15-minute wait time afterwards, where they make sure.
Yeah, well, that was basically the same as us. Like,
Yeah.
Julie and I stood outside, and they called me in, and Julie said, I've got to come with him because he won't hear what you're saying to him. So Julie has to come along as an interpreter. And I must admit, it was a lovely little nurse, and she explained everything, and that's probably why Julie came in with me. And she just explained everything and said, you've got to wait 15 minutes. And I got out and I said, look, I feel great. No, you've just got to wait 15 minutes. That's all there is to it. We will tell you when you can leave.
I sat there. We're in a room. There's about 30 people in there, all sitting in their chairs, all spaced out, waiting for their 15 minutes to be time. Sharon says, how are you feeling? And I said, well, I'm getting this urge to eat brains.
Good old
laughter from up the back.
Good old staple on the hospital diet, yeah. Brains. God, geez, that used to be the old thing they used to give you in hospital.
That went over your head, didn't it, Robbo?
I was waiting for the zombie apocalypse to start, that's all.
I'm having trouble hearing Justin because that echo's come back again.
He was talking about brains, as in zombies eating brains.
Oh, right. You're right, went over my head. But that used to be the common hospital food, was bloody brains. Rex said he got his first shot and put him into bed for a day. Same with the second shot. Well, I really had no ill effects from the first shot. Like Julie got a bit of a rash just around where the injection had been, and it was a bit tender for a day or two. Me, no, nothing at all. I went to work again in the afternoon.
No, you got you got the flu.
Everyone's different though.
I got nothing much from the first one.
Yeah.
So, but no pain in the arm or anything, but I was tired, I reckon, tireder than normal for probably about 4 days after. young fella who works at the shop, he's had both. He's had the Pfizer. He had virtually no effects after the first one at all, but he looked like shit the day after the second one for a day. He had 24 hours where he was really off colour.
Yeah. And Rex B reckons my grandkids love Jello mould of brains. Oh, jeez, But then again, I like tripe too, so.
My old man wouldn't have liked you, Robbo.
No, my mum, when she cooked it, she did it in a white sauce, and oh God, it was nice. And it was tender chewy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. The only time I like eating intestines is in haggis.
Black puddings is good.
I muted Robbo for a second there.
Yeah, I know you did, you ass off. Haggis is good. Black puddings are good, and I love lamb's fry and bacon.
Oh yeah, lamb's fry and bacon. I'll go with you on that one, Robbo. The old man, I've never actually eaten tripe because it's the one thing that my old man would not eat. He was brought up through the war in England, and tripe was their protein. They couldn't get meat, but tripe was one of the ones, and he swore he'd never eat it again after he left, and he didn't.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yes, Rex, my wife is actually a better cook than what my mother was. And my mum was a pretty good cook.
We should make some mean bacon and egg roll.
And Tommy says raw tripe with pepper and vinegar. What is tripe? Right. Tripe is sheep's stomach or cow stomach, basically. That's about right for you, Jay. Just leave it like that. That's good.
It's the bit that you put the haggis in.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about? Bloody insides of sheeps?
Yeah, I love lamb's tongues too.
They're a bit fibrous, aren't they?
Fibrous as in they give you the farts or what?
Oh, they're in the texture, the chewy.
Do they keep growing back on you?
What?
Tongues. Don't they grow back? Do they chop them off?
What, the lamb's tongues? No, they're dead when they can.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, as Tommy says, there's not much tripe about these days. But we were raised basically on offal because that was the cheapest cuts of thing around after the war. Like I'm old enough, even when I was born in 1950, to actually remember butter rationing.
Mm-hmm.
We used to buy our butter from a farm up the road. They used to make their own butter. And one day Mum came home with some unsalted butter. Oh, God, and I'll tell you what, I've never tasted anything so bad.
Would have been like eating lard.
Oh no. The juices and everything out of the meat, like we used to love fat sandwiches, we used to call them. Yeah. They were fantastic, but it was all the juices off the roast and everything that went into a jar, in the fridge.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was into my probably mid-20s that when we had fat on bread, which we used to class as a real fantastic meal or fried bread, that there was nothing else in the house to eat. Dripping, that's the name I was looking for, Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dripping or fried bread, yum. I still don't mind an occasional thing of fried bread.
Toad's hole.
Sorry?
A toad's hole. Toad in a hole.
Yeah.
No, when they cut a circle, they put an egg in it.
Yeah.
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 And Rex said we grew up hunting squirrels and rabbits for our supper. If we didn't shoot it, we didn't eat or didn't have meat. So, yeah, I must admit we used to have the rabbit as well. Good shooting around our place when I was growing up.
Okay. So that's
Yeah, one of
something
my-
I've had experience with. I've never actually hunted or killed an animal for food.
I've caught them in traps and skinned them. A rabbit, that is.
Yeah, yeah,
One of my uncles used to make a living from it. He used to live out on Wallaroo.
yeah.
Yeah, he used to go out and have hundreds of traps and go around to all the pubs. You know, I think there's about 50 pubs just in Wallaroo.
Yeah, but it used to be quite a lucrative living for pairs of rabbits because
Yeah.
they always bought pairs. They never bought a single one.
No, rabbits aren't very big here, Rex.
No, about the size of a cat, probably.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hares are considerably bigger.
Don't see many of them around though, not hares.
Certain places you seem to get them occasionally. They're not prolific.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little bit of trivia for you on rabbits and hares. So the Chinese rabbit, as in the rabbit they use for the year of the rabbit, is not a rabbit, it's a hare. And the American jackrabbit is also a hare. It's not actually a rabbit. The only rabbit is the European rabbit, which the derivatives of meat rabbits have come from and been bred up to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the rabbits in Australia were brought over from the ponds. They're to blame for a lot of things over here. Because they wanted,
Including me.
yeah, well, that's the worst mistake they ever made. But anyway,
Oh,
and
I'm not saying nothing then.
no, the English upper crust, of course, wanted their hunting and everything to go on. So they brought over foxes for their hunt and rabbits for their hunt as well. And they just got out of hand.
That's an understatement, isn't it?
They're bred like rabbits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
I don't know how many fox hunts I went on at night time with the big spotties on the back of the utes, you know.
Yeah. We used to go fox shooting every now and again and rabbit shooting, spotlighting. Now I'm showing my age. We had a Zephyr, a Ford Zephyr with a roof rack mounted on it that had a couch mounted onto the thing. And there used to be one bloke with a rifle on the roof with a spot and the other bloke with a spotlight. And I'll answer your question in a minute, Rex. Anyway, I used to drive most of the time because I was a better driver of everybody. We see this rabbit in the distance. So, lit up by the spotlight. So he's following with the spot, I'm following with the car. So we go hard left first, and then hard right again, and hard left. And I said, Jesus Christ, what's that? What's the light out the side there? The couch kind of dismounted from the roof. And there's this flight couch with two terrified blokes.
But did they die?
No.
No.
But the light suddenly went out. We ran out of lead, of course. So then we had to turn the car around and try and find them without running over them. Yes, we've got a massive mice plague in rural Australia at the moment, out in the wheat belts of New South Wales and Victoria. Happens when it's mainly caused by a massive drought, and then we have good rains and everything, and they start breeding, and they just overwhelm everything. They'll eat out of silo and hay and everything else, and all the electrical circuits in houses and everything else.
Yeah. Not much you can do about it, either.
No, there isn't. There's not enough cats around to catch them all anyway. And they can't bait the bloody things. Just got to die out by themselves, basically. Which is rather sad. Oh, not for the mice, but for the farmers involved and everything, because they just lose so much stock and stuff.
Yeah.
In their hay and everything. Because once the mice get into the hay, they can't use the hay anymore, so they've got to destroy it. Rex.
No, Rex, our snakes are actually quite soft and cute. They're not dangerous at all.
Yeah. I was going to say, Rex, we tell everybody overseas that to keep the buggers out of there, that's why. You know, like we've got plants that can kill you, animals that can kill you, and then we won't even mention drop bears.
No, I was going to say, don't talk about the drop bears, Robbo.
No.
That's why we eat Vegemite. Keeps drop bears away.
Exactly, that's right.
I think I only think I've ever seen 2 snakes in the wild in my
Sorry?
life. I've only ever seen 2 snakes in the wild in my life. You know, not in captivity, not as pets or anything like that, just on the ground. They're not that common, as far as I'm aware.
I've killed more snakes than you've seen by the sounds of it.
Yeah, me too. Like,
so we had, when we first bought this property that we're on here, it's just out of Kingston, got a wetland out the back that's wet a fair bit of the year, lots of frogs. And in the second year we had the fish and chip shop. We were coming home mid-January, and we'd been coming home, and every night for a week we killed a snake just outside the house, and we started counting. And from the middle of January to the middle of April, we killed 61 snakes in the yard. Having said that, most of them were about that long. So the tiger snakes, they're all tigers. Tiger snakes give birth to live young, and they'll give birth to up to 90. So we probably had a pair or 2 pair gave birth very close to the house, and we just had a lot of snakes. We had a couple of real big ones too, but yeah, that was pretty intense.
Yeah, I bet. That was a good culling. Well done.
Yeah, I've killed about 20 snakes near my mother-in-law's place. She lived just up the road on 5 acres. And the only reason they died was the fact that they got into the backyard. Like, the backyard was fenced off from the rest of the property, but they were too close to the house to be friendly. I used to have them crawl through the workshop occasionally, but I just generally pick them up and throw them outside, you know.
Yeah, they're only a problem here if they're in the yard, because I get sick of the vet bills. Take a dog or a cat. We've had a couple inside the house too. It's $300 or $400, you know, taking the dog or the cat to the vet.
Yeah, and, that's right.
So, but I've with work, I've seen them out in the wild quite often, and I'll stop and take photos of them. Don't have an issue with them out there. It's only when they're in the yard, even if they're down the back paddock here, I don't worry about them too much.
Well, that's the reason that, as I said, if they were in the workshop, I used to just virtually pick them up after I'd sort of wedge their head down a little bit with my boot, and then walk them about 100 yards down the paddock and flick them out into the scrub again.
Fair enough. I've got to ask, Rex, so when I grew up, I was always under the impression that scorpions were deadly. Are they just venomous, like an ant sting, or what's the story there?
The venom part's in the tail.
Yeah.
They can just still bite you with the nippers on the front.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. I was always under the impression that scorpions were deadly.
There are a couple that are. There are a couple that are, but most of them are relatively harmless, just very painful.
Irritant. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, most of the Australian ones will give you a nasty nip, but they won't kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smaller they are, the more deadly they are. That seems to be the case.
Well, they've got an attitude.
But that sounds like women.
Yeah.
Did I say that with my outside voice?
Sorry?
Yeah. Is the wife not wearing the headphones too? Yep.
Hi.
Lucky she's engrossed in the show, isn't it?
Does the telephone box work or what?
The problem was, Rex, you didn't swell up in the right place.
Funny how you don't get a lot of pity when you.
Sorry.
It's funny how you don't get a lot of pity from the missus when you get injured, isn't it? They just tend to laugh at you.
Yeah.
They'll go to the same school.
The worst pain I've ever felt in that area was that I stood. You know how you get the steel strapping around posts and things? Yeah. We used to get a lot of posts all strapped up like that, and of course I'd cut them off and I'd fall on the ground. I stood on the edge of one once, and it flicked up and got me right in. And it hurt that much I couldn't even speak. And I'm down on my knees on the ground, and Julie and the bloke that worked for me were in absolute hysterics, you know. They had to leave because I was ready to kill them.
Yeah, that's the kind of story you never live down too, Rex. Yeah.
Oh,
jeez. Hang on.
Rex, you're not getting a lot of sympathy here either. Everyone's having a laugh.
No, come to the wrong place if you expect sympathy out of this lot.
So hang on. So the scorpion bit you on the tip of the head and also on the manhood? Or we're talking about two different parts of the body here, aren't we?
No, we're talking about the head of the little head that does the thinking a lot of the times, you know.
Well, I thought you said the swelling was in the wrong spot. This is what's got me done. You must have had a bugger of a time going to the loo then.
Well, if the nurse is helping him, it's all right. Hey, Sid, what do you got rain there, Sid?
Purple penis instead of a purple heart.
Yeah, it's been bucketing down here.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's left a tap on outside.
Yeah, nice one, Tommy.
That's like the bloke that goes to the doctors and all he can get is a female doctor. And he said, "Oh, look, I'm a bit embarrassed about this." And she said, "Look, why? What are you embarrassed about?" "Oh, well, most people laugh at me when they see, you know." And she said, "Oh, look, I promise not to laugh. Fair dinkum, I won't laugh at you." So I said, "Well, I've got a bit of a problem." So he drops his dax. And there's a about this long, and she starts trying to stifle a laugh, you know. She had to leave the room for a minute, and she comes back, and he said, "Oh, you promised not to laugh." And she said, "Yeah, well, I'm sorry." She said, I must admit, I've never seen one quite that small. And he said, and she said, "Well, what's the problem with it? It's swollen."
Did you have pepper and tweezers on hand?
Oh, that's just rubbing it in, Rex.
Keeping the ward in the bedroom. Yeah, that's true.
What do you say your wife does again, Rex? Other than giving you shit?
She's probably a nurse.
Yeah, I'm getting that impression.
I used to be a vet tech.
You might have missed the question. Rex, what did your missus do for a living?
He's put it up.
She used to be a vet tech.
Oh, here we
Veterinarian.
go. Okay.
I'd say it's a veterinarian technician. Now she homeschools the grandkids and takes care of me.
Which one of those takes up most of the time? I'd like to put my thoughts in, but I'll wait until I see what everyone else thinks.
Probably the latter.
Yeah.
And it's great now that Julie's retired because she looks after me in the manner I've grown accustomed to as well.
Ooh. Your dinner is served, sir.
That's about right, yep.
I might have to put you on loudspeaker again, Robbo, so you can just repeat that just in case it might work.
Oh,
Would a slap work through the camera?
I don't like my chances, but hey, you got to try.
yeah.
Is Brian on tonight, do you know?
Yes, he is.
They'll be on
10
about
o'clock.
15, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9:30 our time, so about 15 minutes.
Live in a small town.
Yeah, we'll have to put Brian on.
Just took a job at the University of
14,
So you got
14,
one
What
away?
about you? After we parted ways.
So, yeah, Brian's on tonight, honey.
Thank you, dear.
Oh, yes, that's right. Put it on loudspeaker.
All the way to the side of the road.
Actually, it was Vietnam.
Shirley, your boyfriend's on tonight.
Right, okay now, Robbo.
Shirley, your boyfriend's on tonight so you can listen to his dulcet tones as he talks to you.
Well, he has a lovely voice. Very
Sorry?
sexy.
You have to speak up loud and that Robbo's deaf.
He has a lovely
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, no, I could hear. Very sexy, she said.
See? Ah. I just love his accent.
So all the other earworms have to stay quiet so Shirley can listen to Brian talking.
No.
All right, guys, I've got to duck out. A couple of other things I want to do before I hook up to watch him, so I'll see you in there if you're going in.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, right. See you later.
See you, Rex. See you, Tommy.
Rex, Brian is the one you'll be watching in about 15 minutes at Heartwood Turning. I know you're always going there. The horse whisperer.
Yeah, I'm going to pull the pin, guys. I've got a bit of sack. Have a good one. Take
No
care.
worries,
take it
Justin. All right,
Thanks
see you
for
later. Yeah, I'll be going shortly too to watch Brian. He's doing his one tonight.
Yeah, I assumed that. I did ask that, but no one answered, so.
Well, a lot of the times I couldn't hear. That's the one. That's the one, Rex.
All right, then. Run away.
Oh, all right. That's the way you feel. I don't smell that bad. All right. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Okay,
Says I'm,
take it easy.
says I'm not going anywhere now.
No?
You have to put up with me. Yeah, sad, isn't it?
That's fine.
All right.
Actually get to use the internet tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. I'll catch you
All
later.
right. See you later, Rex.
See you later, everybody in the chat. Good yakking to you for a change.
Tree people. See you later. We do this occasionally. Just dribble shit.